Hello viewers, welcome to Property Experts, where we will provide you information related to property in a sensible manner. Hence, before buying property worth lakhs and crores of rupees, please watch our videos to prevent yourself from any kind of a scam or a fraud. Whenever you buy or sell any property, then the sale deed is the most important document to transfer the ownership. In this video, I am going to talk to you in detail about what a sale deed is and what are its legal requirements. How should you execute the sale deed? What are the important clauses? What are the things that you should keep in mind before executing the sale deed? What is the correct process of executing the sale deed and registering it? So please watch the video from the start till the end. Let's go straight into the topic. In this video we will learn about what is a sale deed, what are its important clauses, what are the things that you should keep in mind while you are executing the sale deed, and how the sale deeds are executed. What is the process? So, if you want to know about the sale deed, then what is a sale deed? Then for that, firstly we need to understand that what is the exact process of buying the property. So assume this is a property and you want to buy it. Then what you have to do is, first of all, you have to negotiate the price with the seller. Once you have negotiated the price and you have agreed to the price as a buyer, after that you have to pay an advance. Generally the advance is 10% of the sale price. So assume you have decided the advance and you have paid it to the seller. After that you will sign an agreement with the seller with terms and conditions of sale, which are written in this agreement for sale. So how will you make the payment? And what will be the schedule for the rest of the payment? Generally the payment schedule is for 2 to 3 months for the final payment. So assume you've got 3 months for the final payment, and once you have made the full payment, after that only the sale deed will be signed. So I'll tell you some more about this agreement to sell. The agreement to sell is not the sale deed. All the terms and conditions are written in this, that how the payment will be done. And assume if the buyer does default, then in that case what damages are to be paid. And assume if the seller does default, then what damages should be paid by him to the buyer. So the sale deed is the final document under which your ownership rights gets transferred. The ownership right is transferred from the seller to the buyer, and your complete ownership is considered legally only when you get it registered at the registrar's office. So this registration is very important to prove your ownership rights as per the scheduled payment. Then whatever the payment consideration is, it is written in the sale deed. And once the sale deed is executed, after that all the rights are transferred to you as a buyer. Right to use the property. You can use that property in any way. You can lease out the property. This means you can give it on rent. You can mortgage that property. You can take a loan against that property. And you can also sell that property. A sale deed is a form of conveyance deed. It is not exactly a conveyance deed, but it is a conveyance deed in a way, because conveyance can be of other types also, like a gift deed, lease deed, mortgage deed, etc. So the sale deed is a type of conveyance deed through which ownership rights are transferred, and the other conveyance deed I have given example above. A different type of right is conveyed by them. For example, if I talk about the lease deed, then in that you give your house on rent to someone. So the right is transferred for him to live there. The ownership right is not transferred. So I think that the concept of the sale deed is clear to you. Now I'll talk about some important clauses in the sale deed. So now we will see some essential elements of the sale deed. First, you have to enter the details of parties in the sale deed. The details of buyers and sellers come in that: name, age, father's name and address. The details of both the buyer and sellers come in the sale deed. After that, the schedule of property comes. What is the meaning of the schedule of property? Where is the property located and what is the address? What is its description? Assume what is the orientation of the plot, or what is the orientation of the flat, or how much is its area. What are the details of its construction? After that, the payment details come under the sale deed. What is the agreed sale price between the buyer and the seller? How much was paid in advance, and on which date which payment should be made? The details of the check come under that. If the payment was done online, then those details come under that. After that, the time at which the original property papers will be handed over, those details come. And when will they get possession? When will the seller give the possession to the buyer? The exact date is written on that. And you have to ensure one very important thing in the sale deed. A clause is written in that property there is no encumbrance or liens against the property, which means that the seller is ensuring you that it has no loans. If the home loan is going on, then he has paid off the loan, or there are no dues of the property tax, or there is no maintenance due. So there shouldn't be any tax or any type of liabilities in that. After that, an indemnity clause is put the seller indemnity you, that if there is some damage caused to you because of him, then he will pay you. So these are the important elements in the sale deed to which you should pay attention. Now we will see that what extra precautions you should take when you buy a property or you go to execute any sale deed. So what are the things that you should keep in mind? First, you should ensure that the title of the property is clear. It doesn't have any liabilities. It does not have any encumbrances. It does not have any liens. And you have to take a complete chain of title. And let's say you find out the history of 20 to 30 years. How was it transferred? Sometimes in some properties there occurs some litigation. Then the third party can also claim the charge. Assume there is a legal heir in some property and he did not get his share. He can make a claim. So if there is this type of claim, then you should have a judgment in his support. So you must ensure these things. Otherwise you can be stuck in litigation, and if you buy a disputed property, then it will be a big problem for you. The second precaution is no encumbrances and liens. So as I have talked about it earlier as well, there shouldn't be any loan or liability on that property. Assume a tax is due or there's some property tax due. Society maintenance is due or there's a loan due. Then all these should be paid off. Along with that, the seller has to indemnify you that if there's some claim in the future that he will clear, that he will be responsible for that. Once you have ensured that there is no charges or liabilities from any third party, then you have to pay attention to one more thing. You have to see that there shouldn't be any ambiguities in the sale deed. Like there shouldn't be any conditional clause. Basically, no conditions. Sometimes what happens is someone if put these type of clauses, they assume the sale deed is subjected to XYZ. Then it becomes a conditional sale deed. Then the absolute title is not transferred to you. So you have to keep this thing in mind that there shouldn't be any conditions. There should be an absolute title transfer from the seller to the buyer. So this was about the things that you should keep in mind while you execute the sale deed. Now we will learn about what is the exact process of executing the sale deed. So how the sale deed is executed. First of all, you get the draft sale deed prepared from any legal expert, lawyer or advocate. And both the buyer and the seller agree to the terms and conditions. After that, the stamp duty is generally paid by the buyer. So the stamp duty is generally 4 to 10% of the property value. This varies in every state. This varies from 4 to 10% of the property value in the Indian states. So whatever the value is in your state, you have to pay for that. After that, signatures of the buyer and seller are done. So this is executed with the signatures of the buyer and the seller. One witness of the seller. After that, the sale deed is registered in the registrar's office. And when the registration is done at the office of the sub-registrar, if the buyer is not present due to some reasons, if there is some personal emergency, then he can give power to attorney to someone. So the power of attorney will bring the documents and present them to the registrar office. This is also legally valid. Other than that, the sale deed should be registered within 4 months. From the date of signing the sale deed, and the stamp duty and registration charges are to be borne by the buyer. And the seller does not bear them. And all these clauses are also written in the document for sale. So I think after watching the video, you have got the idea of what a sale deed is. What's the registration portion of the property? What are the things that you should keep in mind? And how to execute the sale deed or before buying any property. Thank you so much for watching this video, and do watch all our videos in case you have any doubt regarding property. Thank you so much.